Please refrain from any cross-talk while speaker is addressing to the audience. Second is washroom facility and drinking water facility is provided from the right side from this door. Please feel free to use it only during the break. And third, I think most important thing, please keep your mobile phone on silent or just shut it off because it will disturb the entire flow of meeting. You may have 10 seconds to do so. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I hope it's done. Thank you very much. Yes. Now I request you all to please stand up for our first mission. We provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, fostering greater self-confidence and personal growth. You may all now sit it. With this, I announce this meeting as open and hand over the stage to the presiding officer for today, who is a mechanical engineer and have more than 20 years.
Ravi.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Now, please have a big round of applause for Ravi.
Good evening all.
Good evening.
I am Ravi and I am the presiding officer for this meeting. And with this I now declare this meeting as open. So now we all have a to-do list, right? Maybe join the gym or say sleep early, wake up early, and all those. So we all have, right? But now due to a situation at home or at work, in case we are not able to work on it, this list will be the I have to list. Okay, so we say, oh man, I have to go to the gym here, or oh God, I have to sleep a little early. In case this goes on, it is perfectly okay to be a bit frustrated, or we may also be a bit negative also. However, we have to ensure that we do not allow the environment to completely control our emotions or the way we feel, right? When that will happen, we become completely reactive, right? When the things are good, we are all happy. When they're bad, we are etc. So that is not good for our health. So then, what can we do then? Well, one way is to ensure that instead of being reactive, we be proactive, right? instead of focusing on the I have tools, we start to focus on what we can do. Right? So we can go for a walk. Okay, if not outside, then at home at least, or use the stairs, or cut down on our own time, and maybe use that time to do some upskilling. So in this way, we can ensure that we actually make some changes instead of becoming stagnant. Now, before I move on, I see some guests here. So I would request the guests to stand up and share with us your name, say how you heard of us, and what do you hope to gain from it. So we will start from here.
My name is Varun. I heard from one of my friends, and this is my second session. And I am being introvert, so I not able to do public speaking very well.
Here,
I will go my
Hello, my name is Tapushi. This is my second meeting here, and I'm here to become a better comedian. Thank you.
thanks a lot.
Hello everyone, I am Akash Bharat. I stay in Cebu, Chennai. So this is my first meeting. I came to know of this Toastmasters from one of my friends. I joined it because I want to improve my communication as well as I need to have the fluency while I speak. So I need to get rid of stage fear. So I joined this class.
Sure, has joined us, and this is his first meeting.
Myself, Gauri Saman. I'm from Nehru. I'm here to improve my communication skill and public speaking.
So now we will move on, and I would like to invite Toastmaster, who is extremely enthusiastic, and he is always ready to take up some roles. So I would like to invite the Toastmaster of the day.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Today I am Sir Toastmaster Sandeep, and today this is my first time as a Toastmaster of the day. Let me share a recent moment just happened when I was in my hometown last week. One day my child was started, 9-year-old child started crying, not because he was hurt, but because he wanted to go for swimming into the river flowing along our village, and was panicked at the same time. So I took him on my bike, and as soon as we reached the river bank, he looked at the water and hold my hand tightly and said,
Papa, if I drawn into this village, I will become dog in next of my life, and I will bite it first. So I laughed, I held his hand and gently walked him in. At first he panicked, but slowly he felt the water. He judged the depth, and within no time he was splashing and playing with that water. That moment reminded me, every first felt scary unless we step in. So that's the power of first. They are awkward, uncertain, and sometimes even ridiculous. But they unlock the growth and they unlock the growth and freedom and become the new opportunities lie in front of us. So our today's meeting divided into three major segments. One is prepared speeches, second table topics, third one is evaluations. So before moving to the prepared speeches segment, let's introduce the superheroes behind the scene, our tag team. So if I call the tag team name, in one line just give the answer of what's one first in your life that scared you but changed you. So in short, you have to answer that and then you can introduce your role. So our timer for today is a self-proclaimed serial killer. Just kidding. He builds apps, Greek after math, and hunts the best credit card deals like a pro. Let's welcome Toastmaster Aditya.
Okay, so first of all, fantastic question. I think everyone was pondering upon what should be the answer. And as you mentioned correctly, the first is usually really awkward, really weird. No one likes it. For me, the most uncomfortable first would be talking to random people, initiating conversations with random people while being so. That has been one of the biggest challenges in the last few months. And I have to agree to this that the first was really weird, but I'm really glad that I was able to bite the bullet and get started on the journey of talking to random people and being a weirdo. So with that, I would like to introduce myself. I am Toastmaster Aditya and I will be the timer for today's meeting. As the timer, my duty would be to help the speakers to understand where do they lie and basically how much time has, as in are they exceeding the time or not. The speeches are divided into three parts as Toastmaster of the day mentioned. The first part would be the prepared speeches, the second part would be the table topics, and the third part would be the evaluations. This is going to be the timer sheet, sorry, the timer colors, yeah, cards. Thank you. The green card basically says that you are qualified for the minimum qualifying time, which basically means that you would be allowed to enter the voting session at the end of the meeting. Yellow card basically means that you are right in the middle of the qualifying time range. And finally, red color means that you have exceeded the qualifying time range, and ideally you would be given 30 seconds extra, 30 seconds as grace time to wrap up your speech. So with that said, I would like to again invite
So our counter for today is a senior media professional who led brands like the Economic Times and PTF ITP Media Group. He is also a fitness enthusiast. Let's welcome Toastmaster Sai Kumar.
Good evening, Toastmasters.
Toastmasters and fellow guests. I'm from media, and ads make media strong, and this was a powerful ad line for IDEX. I hope you all remember. So this sounds very good when it's in ad, but ooh, ouch, doesn't sound when you're communicating. My job today as our counter is to count and note the number of fillers and the crutches each one of us are using in our speech. Our objective is avoid these fillers and crutches. Sounds like and I also note when speakers repeat phrase such as I, or this means, and at the end of the meeting, I'll give you a count of the number of crutches and the fillers every one of us have used. So let's have an aim for a clear communication and avoid ouch.
An architect by profession and a traveler and photography lover by passion. Let's hear from Toastmaster Padman. What's one thing scared that
Yeah, my first appearance on stage rectified me, and I started laughing like Boman Iran from Munna. That was my first experience, but gradually I overcame that fear. So thank you Toastmasters Sandy for a wonderful introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening all. Good evening.
Good evening.
Your grammar is a reflection of your image. Good or bad, you have made an impression. And like all other impressions, you are in total control of it. Quotes Shakespeare. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and listening for any improper usage of grammar or language. I will also note down any outstanding usage of word, language, phrases, sayings or quotes. As a grammarian, I will also introduce word of the day and phrase of the day. All speakers are encouraged to use word of the day and phrase of the day. I request everyone to give thumbs up so that they can taste the thunder whenever anyone uses word of the day or phrase of the day. For today's meeting, word of the day is benevolent. Benevolent means kind and helpful. You said the benevolent manager was loved by his team for his fair and generous treatment to all the team members. For today's meeting, phrase of the day is bite the bullet, meaning doing something which you have been avoiding. Use of this phrase. I didn't want to go to the dentist, but finally I had to bite the bullet and visit the dentist to get my tooth pulled. So, as I said earlier, anyone who gets word of the day or phrase of the day, please give him thumbs up. I'll give my grammarian report when called upon. Thank you. Over to you, Sandeep.
Our next role player is the silent Sherlock Holmes of today's meeting. Tracking every word while we nodded along, a Toastmaster Here's your quiz master, Toastmaster Ajay. The question was what's one first in your life that scared you but changed you?
First thing in my life that scared me and changed me, right? Delivering my first speech, I would say. It scared me to bits, but then also over the years it changed me as a confident speaker, built confidence speaker. Thank you for the beautiful question. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and yes, I am Toastmaster Ajay, and I will be the quiz master for today's meeting. The role of the quiz master is to listen intently to everything that is said during the meeting and to create few questions that is to be asked to the audience at the end of the meeting. These questions are intended to test the audience's listening skills. The role provides the opportunity for all the meetings to actively practice and test their listening skills. I will ask these questions at the end, well called upon by a general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. Let's give them a big round of applause for all the role players. Let's now move our next segment, prepared speeches. Prepared speeches is the heart of today's meeting. Here I want to ask every one of you, raise your hands if you still remember your first speech. Yes, we all remember our first speech, whether they may be awkward or ridiculous, but we always remember our first speech. So let's celebrate every speaker today, whether they are new or seasoned, because they step forward with courage. Now, let's call upon our first evaluator, who is a tech leader by profession and a six-pack dreamer by 4 years. Let's welcome Toastmaster Chetan to share the speech objective of Toastmaster Shine. Toastmaster Chetan, I have one question for you. How did you feel when you did your first evaluation?
How did I feel when I gave my first evaluation? I would go back 25 years. I practically do not remember. I remember my first speech, but I do not remember my first evaluation. But I do remember the first time I played the role of the Toastmaster of the day. The way you are doing it today, I did it 20 years ago in Kingston, Jamaica. So I would like to, that is something which I remember very well. I fumbled as much as I can fumble. So in fact, just the thought makes me fumble again. So yes, but that made me stronger. And I am sure the first evaluation would have been similar, but it did make me stronger. So that answers your question. Thank you so much. I'm here to evaluate Level 1 Project 2 speech from the Dynamic Leadership Pathway for Toastmaster Shine Janathan. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Time limit, time of please note, is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you.
So let's welcome our very first speaker for today. He's the founder of Time Machine Salon and an artistic ambassador to loyal professionals. Not an alcoholic, but proudly a shopaholic. Let's welcome Toastmaster Shine. What's the one thing you did first time this year in 2021?
Something interesting I started doing this year is I started noting, so I have an agenda that 5 new things in a month. So that is something I note every single month. So I have a note where I note down everything if I'm doing it for the first time.
and the smell of non-veg. Let's welcome Toastmaster Parita.
Very good evening, everyone. So today I'm here to evaluate Toastmaster Rajesh's speech. He's attempting level 2 project 1 from the pathway Engaging Humor. The purpose of his speech is to give a story which is humorous and present a humorous speech to all of us, which is going to make us all rolling on the floor. Timer, please note the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Rajesh. Over to you.
Let's now pass the mic to an entrepreneur in the building industry with a sound foundation in adventures too. He trekked and camped in the majestic Himalayas. Let's welcome Toastmaster Rajesh. You can answer that first question. What's the one thing that scared you?
The one thing definitely that scared me was my first attempt at bungee jumping, because I have done it twice. And the first time was I joined just because the others were doing it, and when I reached, it was in Auckland, and it was jumping over a river actually. When I reached the point, I looked down and I kicked out. But then I forced myself to jump, and then I liked it so much I did it again.
Toastmaster Rajesh, multitasking Toastmaster Rajesh.
How many of you like James Bond movies? Right? So what's a typical James Bond movie like? James Bond would drive around the streets of Rome chasing a villain. At the same time, he would be romancing a female agent, adjusting his tuxedo, defusing a bomb in his Aston Martin, while sipping martini, shaken but not stirred, without spilling a single drop. Perfect example of multitasking. You agree with me?
Yes.
Our Desi heroes are nowhere behind. Take Amitabh Bachchan in the movie Amar Akbar Anthony. His character, Anthony Gonzalez, works in a bar. He makes drinks. At the same time, flirts with Parveen Bobby, gives insulting one-liners to the villains, jokes with the police, beats up goons, and in between stops to appreciate himself in the mirror. So, movies like this, where gave me an idea as a child, multitasking is something that is great. That is, a person should be actually capable of doing this kind of a thing. But this is an illusion. If I were to do the same thing, imagine what would happen. I would spill the liquor on the customer. I would get beaten up by the goons, arrested by the police, tight slap from the lady, and also have to take a couple of tetanus injections for getting injured with the glass. But my mind was not willing to listen, because it's logical, right? If you can do multiple things at the same time, you are much better. Even our gods have multiple hands. So throughout my life, I've been doing various experiments on multitasking, and more times than not, I have fallen flat on my face. Let me give you some examples. I was into an online meeting with a client. It was a price negotiation. Yeah, and my deputy was directing it. So I was free, I was watching a movie. And suddenly I heard my name being called out. Rajesh, why should we pay you so much? ऐसा क्या है तुम्हारे पास? And I was watching and I was suddenly woken up. I blurted out, मेरे पास माँ है. That was the end of my conversation with him. He doesn't pick up my call now. He has built a divar around him to prevent me from contacting him. I also realized one more thing, that multitasking leads to further multitasking. Here is a
embarrassing example. So it was a time when recently I had babies and I was chatting with my wife on WhatsApp. Suddenly my boss also started sending messages to me. He was furious about some mistake which I had done. So I was managing both the chats. And in reply to his question, I put something which I instantly regretted. You can guess what it is? I sent him hugs and kisses. Then I had to do another multitasking, which is apologize to him on one hand and search for my resume on the other hand to update. Yeah. So talking about my wife, she is not like me. She is able to multitask. She is able to cook dinner, give dictation to kids, and fight with me at the same time. So once I thought I'd help my wife out. So I told her, you take rest, I will cook dal for you. And I just did one small multitasking. I put on music using earphones. After some time she came running. And she said, yeah, what is this smell? And she tasted the dal and asked me, have you been listening to the song? We didn't start the fire. It was always burning since the world's been turning. How did she guess the song? I don't know. So I have been multitasking even in dangerous situations like driving. So here's the situation. One hand on the steering wheel, vada pav on the other hand. And my eye is on the GPS. We are approaching a signal. The GPS says turn left. My instinct says turn right. The signal says stop. Tummy says eat vada pav. What do I do? I listen only to my tummy and eat vada pav. Miss the signal, get caught by the policeman, and pay a hefty fine. So many debacles around multitasking left me wondering, is there something wrong with me? So I started reading. I have to find out. And I got the answers, surprisingly in the scriptures. In the Mahabharata, there is a story. How did Draupadi end up with 5 husbands? You know the story? Anyone? Yeah. So the story goes like this. In her previous life, Draupadi prayed to Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was impressed and he gave her a wish. And she said, I want a husband who is virtuous, who is skillful, strong, smart and handsome. And God started thinking, if I make a man like that, he himself will become God and compete with me. So he smiled and said, Tathastu, and gave her 5 husbands. So the lesson is that men are not designed by God to multitask. I'm not talking about women, I'm being gender specific. Men in this group, don't multitask. You are not made for it. Do one task at a time, have mercy on yourself and be happy. Thank you.
Let's take a 1 minute of silence to feel the feedback.
You don't need. Lights off here, okay?
Yeah.
Vinay, this side also.
they always make sure that we do not have too much fun. Dad, I want to go night out with my friends. Can I go, please? No. Dad, my friends are going clubbing. Can I go with them, please? No. Every time I wanted to spend the night out with my friends, my father would say no. And I would sob like a puppy, leashed in my room, and wondering what fun it would be had I got a chance to go. So at my house, we had a rule that we had to reach home at 9 p.m. sharp. Now my father had a habit of watching Crime Patrol, which used to be a 11 to 12 show. You all remember the 11 to 12 late night show? And he would sleep at 12:30 sharp. But on the days when I would go out with my friends, he would start calling me at 8:30. Shine, where are you? Bare pa. So bare in Tamil means I am coming. So all my friends knew this because every time my parents would call, I would say bare. 8:45. Shine, where are you? Bare pa, bare. 9 o'clock. Shine, where are you? Bare, 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 bare. In chorus, my friends are saying this in chorus as well. Shine, come fast. I have to be awake because of you and I want to sleep. Come fast right now. You are feeling sleepy at 9 o'clock? You are the one who sleeps at 12:30 every single night, but today you are feeling sleepy at 9 o'clock? What a liar. I suppose that's how fathers are, right? So, during our early 20s, my parents had made a new scheme for us. So every time we wanted something, they gave us a task. If we complete that task, we get our treat. For example, I wanted to go to driving school. So my father put a task. You complete your engineering in first attempt without a single KT, I will put you in driving school. Now my father was very smart. He made sure that the task given is next to impossible. But to his and my surprise, I did clear engineering in first attempt without a single KT, and he did put me to a driving school. He is a good master. In my late 20s, okay, everything we wanted, we had to just complete one task. Can you guess what was it? Absolutely. Get married and do whatever you want to do. So, I got married. Now listen very carefully. After marriage, there are 3 things that can happen to you. Number 1, you get off your leash. Number 2, you get into a new leash. Number 3, you want to hang yourself with the leash. Now tell me frankly, how many of you all here belong to the 3rd category? Honestly. And guess which category did I belong to? Well, I was the lucky one. I belonged to the 1st category and I finally got off my leash. And now it's on my husband. So he is my slave and I am the master. Well, jokes apart, though it is the reality, we got into a new kind of leash called the couple leash. It's something like wherever you go, I follow. So whatever we did together. Wherever we went together. For example, I wanted to go to Leh Ladakh with unknown strangers so that it will be an experience. But my husband didn't want to do that, so we did go to Leh Ladakh, but with known people. So compromises like this has to happen, I think, when you're a couple. But recently, I got a chance to travel all across the world, all across the country, all by myself. At first, I was very scared. I didn't know if I'd be able to take up all the responsibility. How will I manage myself? There's no friend, there's no family, there's no husband. But for the first time, I experienced the true feeling of freedom. I was completely off my leash and I was one of the happiest dogs ever. And I felt like this. I was running around like a mad dog. I did whatever I wanted to do. I went wherever I wanted to go. I met new people. I made new friends. sense. I experienced a whole new world around me, and it was such an amazing feeling. Recently, I was sitting by the beach and I saw this cow tied up on the tree. What I noticed was it had eaten all the grass that it could reach, but there was so much more greenery around him that he couldn't reach, only and only if he was unleashed. So my dear friends, if you are a parent, if you are a mentor, if you are a spouse, do not leash anybody. Unleash and see the power they can have. You can protect them, you can save them, but do not leash them, because you are at your best when you are free. Thank you so much.
Let's take a 1 minute of silence to fill out the reflection.
You all have this sleep schedule?
So it's time to pass on our third evaluator. Our third evaluator is an investment professional who enjoy smashing it on the tennis court. Toastmasters Sanish. I have a question for you. What is most important, first step or consistency of courage?
Both are important. First step helps you to start, and consistency helps you to complete. So both are important. The speaker would be attempting dynamic leadership level 3 project 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to share certain aspects about negotiating strategy or techniques in this speech. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes.
Now it's time to welcome a software developer who codes by day, meditates to stay sane, and cooks up both food and speeches with passion. Toastmaster Ruchi. So, Toastmaster Ruchi, what's the one thing you did first time in 2025?
Okay, the first event I did in 2025 was leading an event in my office. So that was very, very challenging, but it was a beautiful experience.
Toastmaster Ruchi, the great break negotiation, Toastmaster Ruchi.
The toughest negotiation don't happen in boardrooms. They happen at home. When I planned a trek with my office friends, I thought it was just about packing my bags. Little did I know, I have to master my negotiation skills before even stepping out. Good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Quick fact about me. I'm a family of 5 sisters and I'm the 4th one. Now, in most Indian families, the younger ones are kids forever, no matter how old they get. And the eldest ones, they have been adults since birth. So, in my family, my elder sister is a decision maker. Whenever I make a crucial decision, I must keep her informed. Or rather, seek her approval. So when I planned a trek with the office friends, I thought, getting for my sister is a daytime trek. What could go wrong? So, with zero preparation, no backup plan, just blind confidence, No. Overconfident me immediately said, and next week I'm going on a trek with my office friends. No worries, we are all girls, and I'll share the contact details with you. And boom! That was where I lost the negotiation. Trekking is not easy. It involves isolated places. This is a huge safety concern. Okay, fine. We'll ask some guys to accompany us. Moreover, you don't know the local language, Marathi. How will you manage if something happens? My friends are Marathians. They know the language. But trekking is not easy. It requires proper planning. My friend, an avid trekker, is hospitalized recently, probably due to trekking. At this point, I realized my competitive approach was no longer working. No matter what I said, she kept raising new concerns. When negotiation hit a deadlock, sometimes the best option is to walk away. So frustrated, I ended the conversation. But I badly wanted to go on this trek. After all, it was me who initiated the plan among my friends. And they even called me the trek leader. Not because I was a fitness enthusiast, but because Toastmasters has ingrained so much leadership in me that I was ready to lead a trek with minimal trekking experience. So this time I did my homework before reopening the negotiation. I researched and listed all essential trekking items. I ensured that two of my friends are experienced trekkers and have successfully done many treks before. As for arranging a guide, I will thought of posting it in our Toastmasters WhatsApp picnic group. Urgent. Need at least one guy to accompany 5 girls on a trip. Thankfully, a guy from my office confirmed his participation. With a collaborative slide, I employed my sister again. We have tried everything. We are experienced trekkers and a male companion. I'll keep you updated throughout. She sighed and said, "You're grown up. Do what you think is correct." What? I aimed for a win-win negotiation. That the system had reassured that I could go on the trek without full support. Instead, I ended up in a well-loose. I went on the trek, fulfilling my desire, but my sister remained upset. Looking back, I have tried several negotiation strategies, some effectively, others not so much. I chose the right time, weekend afternoon, and set the tone and started with a different topic. Initially, I took a competitive approach, assuming she would agree, but quickly accommodated her concerns. When we hit a deadlock, I walked away and reassessed. My collaborative second attempt ensured that all of concerns were obeyed, were fulfilled, but except emotions, which are a key to a truly successful negotiation. So dear those, so this experience taught me that negotiation isn't just about winning. It's about understanding emotions. So dear Toastmasters, whether you're negotiating for a salary hike, a travel plan, or even convincing your family members, remember, best negotiations don't end with one person winning, but with both sides feeling heard and respected. Thank you.
Let's take a 1 minute of silence to fill out the project. Now let's welcome the last evaluator, who is a out-of-the-box thinker and dynamic personality, distinguished Toastmaster Vinay, who is to share the speech objective of distinguished Toastmaster.
The speech objectives are same with Toastmaster. Thakkar told about shine, but still I think there's some gaps that come after that. So I'll just say. So basically it is speech with purpose. You have to understand the basic purpose of the speech, basic methods of writing a speech with a well-defined purpose and delivery. That's it. Unfortunately, he did not ask me the first question, so I'm not going to reply. This is the first time it has ever happened.
So I have one question for you.
I lost that opportunity. Just tell me.
So if you could review the one first again, what
If you could review,
review
read it.
one first.
So when I came out and I was crying and all, I asked the nurses, I looked around, it was a dingy place and all that. I asked some of my parents and all that. I asked them, there's a return policy. Okay. So I had a courage, but since then, yes, I'm very strong.
Now,
Just 1 second, sorry, if I may. Today's speech by Toastmaster, my target speaker, DTM Atul Srivastava. So he's preparing for the higher levels, and his speech is more in terms of preparation. So, DTM Atul, I will not be using CRC methodology. Commenting portion we do later after the speech. I will be using only AID, which is action, impact, and whatever I tell you, whatever possible criticisms I have. Okay, thank you.
can everybody please fill the feedback slips and give it to him for his. Now let's hear from someone who is a public speaking champion, globetrotter, and passionate science mentor who sparks curiosity in young minds. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Atul. You have the same question, like, what's the one thing, one was scared you but changed you?
The first thing that scared me and changed me, probably my marriage.
So, speech title, TTM Atul, 5 to 500, 5 to 500, TTM.
What may be the price of this roti, Indian bread? Please guess. 5 rupees, 10 rupees,
10 rupees.
20, 50 rupees. Thanks for your participation. Hold your hunger. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, good evening. Young and new in my career, I used to pass by a high-end 5-star hotel in Bandra, Mumbai on the bus. I wished one day I will eat my meal here. That dream came true recently when my close guests visited Mumbai. I showed them some tourist spots. That evening, it was dinner time in Bandra, a good opportunity for me to impress my guests. With a plan to eat only roti, sabji and dal, I drove into that green hotel where Hollywood celebrities and top-notch businessmen usually party.
flipped through the menu book. As I had guessed, sabji and dal were priced at 3,000 rupees per plate. The roti section mentioned basket roti 500 rupees. Curiosity in me calls the waiter. Hello, the whole basket of rotis is 500 rupees, right? He said, no sir, each roti in the basket is 500 rupees. Plus GST. My hunger subsided. Anyway, we ate our dinner counting each roti. Difficult to swallow. Back home, I said to myself, hooray! I did it! I fulfilled my long cherished dream. 5-star roti. It lingered in my mind for several days. It tasted no different from what my lovely wife prepares at home, costing maybe 5 rupees per roti. Though roti's inherent quality remained the same, its worth increased 100 times. 5 to 500. I wondered and pondered, if roti can increase its worth 100 times, why not we humans? How to add worth to ourselves? Maybe through good education, good job, good health, good family, good bank balance, and so on. These are different elements of our worth we should achieve. These elements are like grain particles which make the whole roti. These elements of our worth make us the whole personality. Just as a fully baked roti feeds others, our wholesome personality should feed others with positivity, creativity, generosity, and so on. These elements enhance our worth, like roti, 5 to 500. Remember Nobel laureates C.V. Raman, Rabindranath Tagore, Google CEO Sundar Pichai, Toastmasters founder Ralph Smedley, and many others. Their elements of excellence, like each grain particle in roti, have enhanced their worth at the right place and the right time. 5 to 500. Friends, I come from a very humble family background. However, I have picked my elements very carefully with the nerve-wrenching, hard-working elements I earned academic, professional, and social distinctions. I didn't mind crawling through the pipelines and climbing 100-meter tall equipment as an inspection engineer and returning home in dirty, oily clothes to spoil the house cleaned by my wife. I didn't know how to speak English until I went to college. I didn't see a city outside my small hometown. However, with my curious, risk-taking elements, I worked abroad and visited some 35 countries. I not only enhanced my commercial worth, but also my inner spiritual work by taking elements from yoga and meditation to keep the equilibrium of my mind. Just as the green particles in the raw round roti roasted in heat, I worked hard on each element of my work and reversed the financial misfortune my family has suffered across generations. Friends, I'm sure you must be working on your elements too. Maybe some elements need more attention. If, just as brain particles have the cellular power to grow a baby into an adult, your latent hidden elements can grow and mature you too. If a small brown boy like me can, so can you enhance your work. 5 500.
Let's take 1 minute of silence to fill out the feedback list. Now I will request timer Toastmaster Aditya to give the report of speeches.
So, Toastmaster Shine, she completed her speech in 6 minutes, 19 seconds. Toastmaster Rajesh completed his speech in 6 minutes, 32 seconds. Toastmaster Ruchi completed her speech in 6 minutes, 51 seconds. And Toastmaster Atul completed his speech in 6 minutes, 40 seconds. All of them were within time and all of them are qualified.
Let's now give a big round of applause to all our speakers. Now it's time for the most spontaneous session of our meeting, the table topics session. Whether it's your first time or 50th time, this is the place where the magic of thinking on your feet happens. I now invite our table topic master, a pharma pro by day, film critic by night, and a global marketer in between, who claims he can sell vitamins to health nuts and pitch a movie review right after. Let's welcome Toastmaster Ishwar. Toastmaster Ishwar, I have a question for you. What's more important, first step or consistent effort?
Well, you won't be having consistency if not for the very first step. So it's the most important aspect of it. Start the first step, take the first step, and you remain consistent on it. Isn't it absolutely befitting and attack prescient that Toastmaster Sandeep has chosen this theme, the power of first, because this happens to be the very first time that I'm taking up the role of Table Topics Master. And thank you, God. Considering this is my very first time, I'll try to be as benevolent as I can to all of you. I've chosen to bite the bullet after a very long time, despite this persistent nature that Dharmesh has had to put me up on the stage for me to be the tabletop master. But anyways, with the powers vested in me, today I will be picking up any one of you randomly from the crowd to speak on a particular agenda that I'll be providing on the stage at the very moment right before you speak. You have a total of 2.5 minutes to speak. 1 minute is when the timer will show you the green card. The second minute, by the end of the second minute is when he will show the yellow card. And at the end, is it 1.5? Yeah. By the end of the
1.5 years.
at 1 minute 30 seconds is when he will show the yellow card, and at the second minute is when you show the red card, and then you have 30 more seconds. So shall we begin?
Yes.
Right. I would like to have someone who's experienced. I wouldn't want to pick anyone can come up. I'll give them the any experienced member. Yes. Toastmaster Chetan. Right. Your topic is, why do you think first leave a lasting impact.
When I come to table topics, one person is a role model for me. And it's not Chetan Thakkar, it's Jason Tucker. Jason Tucker is someone whom I saw in Jamaica when I first went into the Toastmasters club. And Jason Tucker was amazing at delivering the speeches. So today, I transformed from Chetan Thakkar into Jason Tucker, who was amazing at talking and delivering speeches. So that's where the first thing happened. The first time I went into a Toastmasters club was back in Jamaica. The first time I delivered a speech was in Jamaica, and Jason Tucker was the inspiration behind that. So he was my first inspiration as a Toastmaster, and it has left a lasting impression. I've been away from Jamaica for 15 years now. Jason Tucker continues to be within me. And hence, I totally agree with you, Table Topics Master, that yes, the first leaves a lasting impression. And hence, from Chetan Thakkar to Jason Tucker, you can see that transformation. Over to you.
That was inarguably one of the best speeches one could ever give on the spot, and it was so satisfying. And it was wonderful how we could come up with an anecdote at the spot. For the second speech, I would like to have Sanish. You're fine. Sanish, your topic will be, is it better to be first or is it better to be best in the room? Sanish.
Well, that's an interesting topic. Is it best in the room, or do you want to be the first in the room? Let me take you back 2 months. I participated in a club contest, and the topic is life exists in grace. Now, when I say this topic, how many of you think that the spelling was G-R-A-C? Can I see a raise of hand? Alright, most of the people think it is G-R-A-C. In a table topic, you hardly get a couple of seconds, and I deciphered it. I go with grey, G-R-E-Y. Because when I heard the topic, I thought you cannot exist in grace, right? Grace means benevolent, kindness. Whereas existence is survival. So I thought I'd go with grey. Gave an amazing speech, and my phone started popping up. Either you are right, or you are completely wrong, because all the contestants before you spoke about G-R-A-C-E, grace. And when the results were announced, I was not placed in the top, and it was bugging my mind. People told me you gave an amazing speech, but you gave it on the wrong topic. Then I messaged the contestant. I asked the person what was the topic, can you spell it for me? And she said it was G-R-E-Y-S. And I was like, why would you have an adjective color G-R-E-Y-S? And that made me realize that probably I was a best speaker in that room, but I didn't end up turning first because I was not understood by my relevant audience, that is judges. So that is the moment when I realized that being first and being best can be two different things. And if given a choice, probably I would love to be first than best, because being first would have helped me to move on to the next stage, being acknowledged by the people. But being best in the room does not necessarily mean that you are acknowledged by people. And I am sorry to say that I am a bit selfish, and I look for that fame and recognition. So for me, being the first means more than being the best.
Truth be told, if I was offered this particular subject, I would have chosen. And that was a wonderful speech. Any volunteers for the third speech? Yeah. Toastmaster. Toastmaster Yasin. The subject is, if you could relive one first in your life, what would it be and why? Toastmaster Yasin.
If we could relive in our life, this thought everyone might have thought about in your life, right? Everyone at some moment or the other, they might have thought like when we will get an opportunity to relive our life. But unfortunately, we know the reality like it is not a possible thing, because once we are gone through a certain life, we have to adapt to that, and we can plan ahead of it, but we cannot think about moving back. So the situation in which when I have to think about when we have to relive in our life is like some challenges comes in our life. So when I was having a situation, I was going through a situation when there was no job for me. So I always thought, why did I take engineering, mechanical engineering? With my passion, I have taken mechanical engineering in my life. But over the time, I realized this. There is a plan. Already there is a plan for why I have taken this choice and why I am born to move with the same profession which I have initially thought. Because this challenge, these ups and downs are just part of the life. Sometimes we will be down, but we will get an opportunity ahead. With whatever experience, whatever areas we have moved in our life, we can continue with that. So this point of thought is totally irrelevant as per my point of view. This thought may come in our minds, but we have to move ahead with this thought. Thank you.
It was a wonderful recollection of the past and a walk down the memory lane. I would like the guests of this particular meeting to volunteer. Anyone? Yes. Varun Kumar, your subject is, what was your first big purchase and was it worth it? What was your first big purchase and was it worth it, Varun?
My first big purchase my mobile, which I bought when I did my degree, and it is for my stipend only, and it is worth it because it helps me in my education and learning also, and most of the time, because it was a digital era, so most of the payment we did is through online, and through that one I started doing online payment. I am the first in the family who started making payment online, and mostly my family do cash transactions before that one. And after that one, I started giving advice to my family members to start that these are the options available, and it also helps me giving. It also helps in purchasing when we have not have changes in that one.
That was a commendable attempt for a first. Any other guests who would like to volunteer? Yes. Tejas, your subject would be tell us about the first time you truly stepped out of the comfort zone. Tell us about the first time you truly stepped out of the comfort zone. Please.
Swish! This is the beautiful sound that comes when a basketball goes straight to the net. And you feel really nice if you are the one making that basket. Well, like all sports, even in basketball, there are amateurs, there are professionals. In amateurs, there are the extreme beginners, there are the noobs, then the extreme beginners, then there are some good players, then there are some people who are trying to turn amateurs and then pros. When most people start off, they are somewhere here, the noobs, which is where I was. So when I used to go play basketball at 7 p.m., I used to play with people who played for like 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, people who are not so good. But at 8 p.m., there would come in some sort of those amateur people who would have experience of playing basketball for 7, 8 years. Now, me being me, I was like, let me play from 7 to 8, where I can at least sort of be good, score 2, 3 baskets, and go back home when the 8 p.m. crowd comes in. But one day I thought, well, let me wait and see how do these slightly amateur people who are trying to turn pro play. Well, I saw and I was like, okay, what I've learned in playing 6 months of basketball, if I just played 2 matches with them, I would have learned the same amount. That is when I decided the next day that I go play basketball, I bite the bullet and I go and play with the 8 p.m. guys. Well, next 3 matches I played with the 8 p.m. guys, didn't score a single basket. But there was this one benevolent player who decided, well, let me pass the ball to him, let me try to help him shoot. So he passes me the ball from the 3-point line, I'm running in, and the easiest shot in the world is a layup. I shoot the ball for a layup, and I airball it. Completely unheard of to airball a layup. It didn't even touch the rim. All the players were like, don't worry, this is your 4th match, you'll get better with time. Guess what? 2 matches later, I scored my first basket. 3 matches later, I scored 2 points again. 5 matches later, I scored my first 3-pointer. Even today, I'm far away from the amateurs. But at least I came to know that if you are stepping out of your comfort zone, you manage to learn. Today I learned from this wonderful gentleman's speech how good body language, gestures and a great speech can like just wake you up. Today after doing a speech I was like, I want to go and listen to really great speakers so that I realize, oh, there are these 10 steps that I need to take so that I can just move ahead and improve my speaking skills. Well, that was the story of the first time I stepped out of my comfort zone.
Because I still find layup to be one of the most difficult shots to take on a basketball court. Anyways, I would like ma'am over there. Isha, I'm going to let your imagination run wild. It's an outlandish subject. Imagine you're the first human to land on Mars. What's the first thing you would do or say? Imagine you're the first person to land on Mars. What's the first thing you would do or say, Isha?
God, I never imagined landing on Mars. I don't know. I read this book called The Martian, and all I can think about the Mars is that he grew potatoes in his spacecraft and a lot of chemistry in the book. I'm not able to think right now. I don't know. I just hope that when I land on Mars, I hope Elon Musk doesn't see me and comes to attack me. And I'm really hoping that it goes up. God. Mars, place. This is nothing related to what I do. I'm a
I would. Two more speeches? Yes. You really think the first impression is really the most important? Why? Or if not, then why not? You really think the first impression is the really most important one? Why or why not? Shubham, first one.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Shubham. My topic is the first equation really important on the mark. I feel like I really buy the chip after 4-5 months coming here. Yeah, according to me, I don't think that first equation is the last equation, and that's why I'm a part of Toastmasters here. Basically, I feel like you have to go somewhere where no one know you, so that after few days or month or year, you will become like them. I mean, you will grab that opportunity or skill, whether it's Toastmaster or some bachata or swimming, where no one from your school or colleague know. That way, you can, you just have to think that what is it that you haven't done and what is it that I really want to do, and I won't be able to do maybe after 4-5 years. So you have to do, you have time right now, and it's never too late, people say. So that's why I don't think that first impression is the last impression, because you will get lots of chance every time coming here and try to see the change. You know, there is a communicator I follow. His name is Divas Gupta. He says, give 15 minutes a day and you will get remarkable change in your life. You will do it 30 days. He said that you have to record yourself 5 minutes, any 1 minute video. You have to see that video every time, and after 30 days you will see changes. So I think it is similar kind of thing. Even though it's first impression, if that person see you after 2 months, he will be very surprised and he will be very fond of you, and he will see, oh, how did you do it? I like you, or something like that. So that's how I think. Thank you so much.
That would actually be a great marketing campaign for Toastmasters, considering how much warmth that we receive people with. Anyways, for one last speech, she was the one who. Koshi, who was your first mentor and what did they teach you? Who was your first mentor and what did they teach you, Koshi?
I think for everybody, their first mentors are bound to be their parents, because you grow up with them, you've spent at least so many years of your life with them before interacting with the outside world. So similarly, I think for me, my first mentor was my father. I've always been a daddy's girl, so whenever I had any little problem in life, whenever I had any little inconvenience in life, I would go cribbing to him, Papa, ye ho gaya, Papa, wo ho gaya. And when he'd sit me down, he'd tell me, ki, it's okay, things happen, life happens, you have to deal with it. And a lot of other lessons like that. So that's how parents are always your first mentors. And then eventually, as you grow up, as you become more benevolent, as you become more friendly, you come across a lot of different people in your life, in your high school, in your school. That's when you meet teachers. They are your second mentors. Teachers, as they say, are like your other parents. So if you have a good teacher, a teacher who's not moody, a teacher who's nice, then they can be great mentors too. Like for example, my math teacher, I hated maths. I still do. Everybody does. I mean, not everybody, but mostly everybody does. So that was one of those times in my life, one of his classes, I sat in his class. I kind of started liking maths. I wanted to go back home and do his homework. And then the next day I went up to him, I said, and I didn't know I liked math, but after attending your class, I felt like I want to do something more in this field. I ended up taking law, nothing related to maths. But then those are your second mentors. After high school, I think I am still in high school, so I don't know what will happen after that. But I think after high school, the other mentors would be your college professors or maybe some friends that you meet along the way, or maybe your relationship that you've built. So mentors, there is no one particular great mentor. You keep meeting a lot of people and they teach you a lot of things. So there are a lot of mentors and I cannot boil it down to just one mentor.
Someone found a reason to love math because I despise that subject with all my heart even in this very day. Alright, I think we have time for another speech. Yes. Toastmaster Tapsi, the subject that I'm giving you is what advice would you give someone doing something important for the first time? What advice would you give someone doing something important for the very first time? Toastmaster Tapsi.
We live in the world which is full of social media as of now. And that's where I believe if you're trying to do something for the first time, please be authentic. And that's where I have got my power. So wherever I go, I try to bring the authentic self which is within me. If I am trying to do something for the first time, and I tell this to everybody whom I meet in the journey of life, is where you will not be missing your lines if you are being authentic. And that's what makes me what I am today and whatever I'm trying to do. So if I have to go and talk about what made me what I am today, is where I connect back to the dots which has made me what I am today. So now let me tell you a story of my life where I was called on the stage in front of 1,000 students when I was in the 11th standard, and that was the time when I ran away from that announcement where my name was announced and I actually participated in an elocution competition which I was unaware of. I don't know, maybe sometime I have given my name, and I keep telling this to the people whom I meet in my journey. That was my first thing where I ran away from my first public speaking, and now I actually go and deliver speeches where I really don't feel ashamed of doing. So first time, it's so easy for me to become authentic and tell that I was like this and right now I am like this. If you are in your authentic self, you will be able to do the things in your best way. Thank you so much.
I think with that we draw it to a close. Should we have a time constraint?
So first came Toastmaster Chetan. His time was 1 minute 35 seconds and he's qualified. Toastmaster Sunish came after that. Sanish, my bad. His time was 2 minutes 13 seconds and he's qualified. Then came Toastmaster Yasin. His time was 1 minute 56 seconds. He's qualified as well. Then came guest Varun Kumar. Their time was 1 minute 12 seconds. Then came guest Tejas. Even though his his time was 2 minutes 54 seconds, so sadly not qualified. Then came guest Isha, whose time was 1 minute 4 seconds, so qualified. Then came Toastmaster Shubham with the time 1 minute 51 seconds, so qualified. Then Toastmaster Krishi with 2 minutes 12 seconds, that's the time, so qualified. And finally, Toastmaster Tapsi with 1 minute 42 seconds.
Toastmaster for the time report, and I think with that I'll be relieving myself as the Toastmaster tabletop master of the day. I'll pass to Toastmasters if you want.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishwar, for such an amazing topics and a wonderful session. And thank you all the board speakers who stepped up. Whether it is smooth or shaky, that's the spirit of our Toastmasters. With that, now we'll take a short 10 minutes break, and we'll be back after 10 minutes. Grab some tea and come with fresh minds.